Nation's capital now, where the Supreme Court says former President Trump is immune from prosecution for official acts taken while in office.
Doug Luzader has a reaction from President Biden, plus what happened next after the blockbuster ruling.
Well, there are reports this morning that former President Trump is planning to use this ruling to set aside his criminal convictions in New York. President Biden, meantime, lashed out at the Supreme Court. There were protests outside the Supreme Court when yesterday's decision came down. President Biden was so incensed that he returned to Washington from Camp David early last night to address the nation.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent.
Just hours earlier, the court had delivered at least a partial victory to former President Trump, saying that presidents have at least some level of immunity from criminal charges. In a 6-3 decision, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, "The president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers, and he is entitled, at a minimum, to a presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts." But therein lies the question. Was Trump acting in an official capacity when he sought to overturn the 2020 election results? Because as the decision notes, like everyone else, the president is subject to prosecution in his unofficial capacity.
The court here adopted the middle path. It rejected the most extreme positions.
A lower court will have to determine now whether Trump's actions were official, but that will almost certainly delay any trial until after the election. In a scathing dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote, "The court effectively creates a law-free zone around the president, upsetting the status quo that has existed since the founding." As for Trump, he wrote on Truth Social, "Many of these fake cases will now disappear or wither into obscurity. God bless America." As for that New York business records case, Trump is scheduled for sentencing next week unless his legal team succeeds in requesting a delay.